Hey, good morning to everybody. Darryl P here, aka Artist and Recovery. And I had an idea to do a video this morning. I had no plans to do this video. And I was actually right in the middle of my workout doing bench presses. And I started thinking about doing this video. And I actually gave it a try and I ran it through one of my AI, artificial intelligence apps, and I got some results, and I got kind of excited about it. And let me tell you what I'm talking about here. First of all, I want to say I don't want to disrespect BEAU of the fifth column in any way, shape, or form. I don't want to put words in his mouth. I don't want to insinuate this is what Bell of the Ranch or BEAU of the fifth column, Justin King, would say or what he did say. This has nothing to do. This is coming from me and from AI. Okay, so this is how this idea came up. This morning, I started, like I said, I really do miss BEAU of the fifth column. And I started thinking, what would he be talking? What would he be saying about current events going on right now? And I know this isn't one of the hottest topics amongst a lot of you, because it didn't get a lot of views when I've talked about it, but it's a hot topic to me. The Venezuelan boat strikes. I'm a recovering addict, 19 years clean and sober. Since October 23rd, 2006, I was a full-blown heroin, crack cocaine addict every day for 2 decades. So I have some opinions about this, and I really am disgusted by the whole thing. Let me just really roll it up quickly. This just reeks of political theater to me, this whole Venezuelan boat thing. I don't think it's doing a bit of good for addiction in this country. I think that if you do things the same way over and over again, like Hegseth and the Department of Defense, that cartels are going to quickly adapt to it and use it for their own and use it in their own advantage, like using it as a distraction, putting out things that look like boats full of substances, and disposable people while moving large quantities of whatnot in other places, using it as a distraction. I mean, just off the top of my head, if they do the same thing over and over again, cartels aren't stupid. That's what I would do if I was a cartel. I'd use it as a distraction. Let this be the cost of doing business. Having some people blown up and some boats blown up, some stuff that looks like product blown up, and I move real quantities somewhere else, or eliminate your competitof. Have them go out in boats, or work it so they go out in the boats. Use it to your own advantage. I mean, that's just a few of the things off the top of my head. But this morning, I started to think, what would BEAU of the fifth column say about this? And so I thought about, maybe I could do a video where I'd kind of try to, imagine what he would say. And then I remembered artificial intelligence. Okay, so I asked AI. And it took a few tries to word it right. So, I thought about it. And AI is able to go through all of the videos and all of the information about BEAU and everything in a split second and get a whole feel for him. And, AI is able to process huge amounts of information in a split second. So I was like, well, I wonder what AI would say about, what would Justin King or BEAU of the fifth column say about the Venezuelan boat strikes, or specifically the double tap, the elimination of the 2 survivors with a double tap just a couple weeks ago. And I got an answer. Like I said, this has nothing, I'm doing this to try to make up for missing BEAU of the fifth column. Like I said, it's become obvious in some of the videos I've done recently. They got a lot of views, and I've heard from a lot of people, and people miss him. No disrespect to Belle of the Ranch, but sometimes I like her, and she's got a very BEAU of the fifth column feel. But as constructive criticism, Belle comes off a bit like she's reading from a teleprompter. It doesn't have that off the cuff, folksy kind of deep rooted anger, that he got sometimes, that that feel, and it's just he's the only one that could do that. Okay, so I asked AI, what would Justin King aka BEAU of the fifth column, say about the Venezuelan boat strikes? And here's I kind of summed it up. Okay, Justin King, BEAU of the fifth column, would likely frame Pete Hegseth's role in the Venezuelan boat strikes as a cautionary tale about reckless military decision-making, legality, and the human cost of tough guy politics. And I was like, wow, yeah, I that sounds about right. That's guessing what BEAU would say. He'd emphasize that these strikes, especially reports of ordering a second attack to kill the survivors, raise serious ethical and legal questions. Now, that's what AI said is like an overview. Then it got a little deeper, okay? And this is what it says then. It says what BEAU would likely say based on his past commentary style. He'd call out Hegseth's kill everybody order as emblematic of a dangerous mindset, prioritizing optics of strength over legality and morality. And I'm like, yeah, that's something I would think and something I could picture BEAU saying. He'd stress that international law doesn't allow executing survivors. BEAU is very knowledgeable on military tactics, police tactics, stuff like that. So I was looking forward to getting something of this nature. He doesn't allow executing survivors, framing it as a war crime in plain language. He'd argue that Trump and Pete Hegseth are using military force as political theater. I didn't even get that. That was my own opinion. Appealing to a base that equates brutality and effectiveness. He'd remind listeners or viewers that ordinary people pay the price. Those killed may or may not have been cartel members. But the U.S. is now seen as executing people at sea. He'd likely end with a broader point that this kind of policy erodes U.S. credibility. Exactly. Risks escalation with Venezuela and sets a precedent that other nations could use against Americans. Excellent points, all of them. Okay, now here's the finish, the AI finish that it gave me. A BEAU-esque closing line. That's what it actually says. Something in his voice might sound like, I love this part, something in his voice might sound like, quotes, at the end of the day, folks, if the policy requires you to kill survivors floating in the water, maybe it's not a policy rooted in justice. It's just cruelty dressed up as national security. Bam. AI, in my opinion, AI nailed it. What would BEAU of the fifth column, aka Justin King, say about the Venezuelan boat strikes in the estimation of artificial intelligence? That's what they'd say. I hope you enjoy this. I might do some more depending on, I don't want to cross any lines or any boundaries. I don't want to make it look like, I don't want to put words in BEAU's mouth. I have the utmost respect for him, his channel, Belle of the Ranch. And, based on feedback, I'll see where I go with this. All right. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good Thursday.